Hang on a second, I'm gonna walk.
There you go.
Thanks, bro.
So what happened? What was it? How do you get the new additions? Yeah, what happened?
Yeah, Lindsey and Ben have been with us for about 1.5 years now, right?
Okay.
It's been that long since we've seen you.
It's been 1.5 years. Yeah. O'Brien's. Wow.
Well,
It's been 2 years since we've seen
in
you.
April it'll be 2 years that I joined.
It seems like it's because we came to see you, Leah. That's why.
Can you give me an A?
You have an A.
All right.
A. So how did they find you?
I found them.
You found them?
Yeah, I saw multiple ads on Craigslist, MySpace, New England Garage Bands, because I started...
We need a singer!
Well, because what had happened was I stopped singing between 7th grade up until my senior year of high school because somebody told me that I sucked.
Did you hate that?
So, stupid impressionable me was like, oh, and I gave up on it.
Didn't that person listen to the four agreements? So, audiobook tells you about, if you say something, one thing, you believe it throughout life. It's a very good book. You should all listen to it. Self-help. So between 7th grade and senior year, you stopped singing?
Yeah, and then when I started college, my neighbor was like, hey, I heard you are a soprano. My choir groups need a soprano. Come with me. So I just went, okay. So started with that. And then my best friend took me on my birthday. She took me out to lunch and she said, Lindsey, what are you doing? You are miserable. You hate this. You love the singing, but you hate the groups. All you do is complain about them, but you go because you love to sing. She's like, go find a band. Just go find a rock band and unleash your inner rock self. So I went home that night and I emailed Dan and he got back to me and he's like, hey, you want to come audition tomorrow? So
you're young.
Yeah.
Wow. Good.
24.
Is it rough playing with some old guys? Been around the block a while?
Well, I had to beat them into submission a little first, but I'm pretty sure we get along now.
It's like you play the early bird special shows. It's nice. You
by 4,
out by 5.
But then I also get the dinner specials with that too.
Yeah, we get the buffet.
We actually did try to talk our into it.
We don't call ourselves old. We call ourselves experienced.
Seasoned musician. No,
that's a euphemism.
They're a great band, and you can consider yourself lucky to be a part of it. And I love the new stuff that you guys have out. It's kind of like a 180 from where you guys had before versus what you got now. And I think it's good that you went from brunette to blonde, so you really switched it up in the singer category.
That was one of the prerequisites.
Nice. How'd they find you?
Pretty much the same way.
Cool ass bongo player needed.
Well, not so much that, but a little treat tonight. But no, pretty much the same way. Through social media, talked to them, auditioned once before the old Ben got the gig.
Actually, we never met. We only talked about meeting. We never really did meet that time.
And sure enough, a year or so later, I got a call from Paul, and he said, hey, yeah, you still interested in maybe auditioning? I said, absolutely. Just moved to the city from New York and was dying for the creative outlet.
I was sure he was going to be available because a year had passed. But
so,
it was like a...
I kind of rested on my laurels, fortunately.
It's a nice place to eat it fun.
I came in, we started playing. It was more of a creative versus technical, and they opted to go my way, fortunately, and rewrote a couple of tunes, and we were off and running.
Nice. Now we're going to get back into the whole, backstory of Melt, because we've already interviewed you once. People want to go back and listen to the audio podcast of it. But in a nutshell, how long has Melt been around? Who started Melt?
Paul.
Paul started Melt. How long? When did you come up with the concept for Melt?
God, 5 or 6 years ago now, with the old lineup. And the idea was to mix up a bunch of different things and not get locked into any real one-dimensional standard rock sounds. But it's hard to find people who want to do that because they think they'll be all over the place. But at the same time, we like to think the band does have a unified sound. We're just not afraid to incorporate a lot of different things into that. We're not afraid of novelty, blues, jazz, swing, and
opera,
metal. Taking chances, just putting things in that on paper look like it might not fit, and then you try and say, oh, maybe some of them will. Just making it sound original by just taking a bunch of things and putting them in a blender together. And that original lineup started around 5 years ago, but then things change and grow and morph and evolve. And the band with the current sound really, I think, started happening when Dan came aboard about 2.5, 3 years ago.
Right.
And that's when we started doing a whole bunch of new writing, and then it started to streamline into what it turned into now.
Dan is just a man.
That
Dan brings the sound.
That's how I
On
introduced him. He's
stage,
Dan the Man
it's
Inzana.
Yeah, that's
Everyone
on
thinks
stage.
that his last
Not
name
the
is
plume.
the Man.
Nice.
Dan, the man.
So are we playing some new songs tonight?
Fairly new.
Yeah. Fairly new?
Yeah.
How long?
Like 2 new tunes.
These are off of the new CD?
Yeah.
Yes.
Which
Both of
is
Armageddon Party.
Yeah.
Armageddon
Party.
How'd you come up with that name?
Paul wrote a song about it.
It was a novelty song about a used car salesman who's trying to sell tickets to the Armageddon, and he actually thinks people are going to buy into this and sell it as a fireworks display. And they were all amused by it, so it actually made a nice theme for a nice visual for the CD. And
Which we have
her
somewhere.
fiance is actually on the cover as a used car salesman.
Excellent.
We will not be playing that tonight.
Okay. What's the first song we're going to play?
Sleeping Butane.
Sleeping.
A song by Dan the Man.
You wrote this one? I'm probably going to love it then. All right. Let's hear
Cool.
Sleeping Butane. Let's get a quick level check and then we'll get started.
Never sees much light in a day. Angels and her skies fade to gray. Forever been alone. Wasn't me who cast that stone. Sleeping butane. Her flames will always burn. And she's no one's concern. I tried not to follow in her room. Dreams always seem to end too soon. She thinks she's picture perfect, but she'll burn you on a whim. She's never ever noticed that her camera's got no film. Her flames will always burn. And she's no one's Never cared about empathy. Knew nothing but original sin. May fear herself forever as she feels the needles pushing in. Sleeping butane. Her flames will always burn. And she's no one's concern. Sleeping butane. Her flames will you found? Did you tell the lies I wanted to hear? Did you really think you saw my fears? Should have let down my guard and hope you catch me, 'cause I really need something. Ain't much to believe.
Little alternate ending.
That's not good. What's that song about? Who wrote that one?
I wrote
Do you write all the songs?
No,
No?
no. There's a backlog of my old songs, but I don't write all of them.
Okay.
Dan brought in a bunch, and now Ben brought in a lot of lyrics. Now Lindsay's starting to write now too.
I guess.
What is that song about? Oh,
Dragging Me Down?
Is it about quicksand?
No, it's about just being worn down by life and just trying not to be.
I know nothing about
What is
that.
It's
Really?
it's totally universal in every way.
Yeah, exactly. It's a song everybody can relate to.
Oh yes, I do.
Ooh, we have press kits.
We have a press kit.
Where do you see Melt in 5 years? What's the next 5 years for Melt?
Well, we're trying to. We just released this new CD, and we're actually poised to start recording new stuff. So initially, we're going to do that, and then from there, we're hoping that someone's going to hear our music and use it in movies, commercials, maybe
Whatever
even
they
for
see
backing bands.
I was on your homepage today. I was reading the article about what's the number one problem with bands. It's like getting noticed by the right people. So I think it's a universal thing for everybody. It's like playing out is only going to get you so far. The Boston scene is what it used to be. So it's like trying to get promoted. We're actually going to spend money this time.
Yeah,
That's important.
lots
Yeah.
of money on promotion.
Promotion this
It takes
time.
money to make money, unfortunately.
Yeah,
that's
There's
true.
no
That's true.
money in music. What's the main focus? Like, what's the motivation to keep you guys going? Like in a dying scene, like you said, there's nothing out there. What keeps you going and doing this?
A passion for music, I think.
Love of
We
music.
have that in
Yeah.
common, and we like to perform. We love to perform
Yeah.
live. So, I mean, we have a lot of friends that do the same thing. We go out to support them, they come out to support us. So, I mean, it's very enjoyable. It's a good outlet for us all. Anyway.
Yeah.
Everyday life, then you have the crazy life.
Yeah.
You guys are a great band. I love seeing you live. I love the chances that we've had a chance to actually play with you guys with my band, and it's just been a lot of fun.